a funny story I want to share with you. Years ago, I worked with a guy, and he had two young children, and he was giving his children, he was making sure his children had swimming lessons, right? Mm-hmm. And they were at the college across the street, and so his little girl was swimming across the pool, and he was standing on the concrete at the edge of the pool, cheering her on, saying, "Come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it." And she's moving her little arms, and she's looking at him, and he's saying, "Come on, you can do it, you can make it all the way, you can make." And she's smiling, looking at him, and she finally gets there, and he picks her up, says, "You did it," and she goes, "Were you saying we're going to McDonald's?" She couldn't hear what he was saying. She figured he was
funny.
She figured he was saying go to McDonald's.
Yeah, I bet he did after that.
See, I wanted to tell you a happy story. There was such a sad story this morning about a little boy in one of those refugee accidents, and he was found dead in the surf. Water is so easily not our friend as much as we love swimming. So we have on the phone Connie Harvey. She's the director of Aquatics Centennial Initiatives for the American Red Cross, and she's on the phone to talk to us about pool safety. There's a campaign that they're involved in. Good morning, Connie.
Good morning.
Ooh, there's a delay there. I apologize for that. We might end up talking over you, but it's not intentional. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Brevard County, Florida, actually.
Oh, see, and
Nice.
One of the things about Florida, I guess it doesn't matter where you are from, but there are pools everywhere in this state.
There are pools everywhere, but we also, of course, have the ocean and the rivers, and
Right.
there's so much water around us, which is why it's so critical that everybody knows how to swim and knows about water safety.
Do you know what always amazes me is those little tiny babies that go swimming. I guess, do we as human beings have a natural understanding of the water when we're that young?
We definitely have a natural affinity for the water, and that's why it's really good to be able to get people in the water in those young ages and really embrace that. Drowning is the number one cause of unintentional death for children between the ages of 1 and 4, though. So the simple steps that save lives related to being around the water safely is so critical because we love the water.
Do we trust ourselves to teach our children how to swim, or would you recommend we go to a professional teacher?
We absolutely recommend that you go to a professional teacher. So getting your children enrolled in swimming lessons is the best way to get them to learn how to swim. And the Red Cross urges that everybody learn to swim to at least what we call water competency. And so that's multiple sets of swimming lessons. It's the ability to handle yourself in the water in the event that something goes wrong. If you have an accidental submersion in the water, that you would be able to get yourself out.
It's just amazing to me how many adults that live here don't know how to swim because they'll be out in their boats and they won't be wearing their life jackets, and then you'll hear about boating accidents, and then the adult drowns. He has he doesn't wear the life jacket, and then he doesn't know how to swim, so he drowns.
Absolutely. One of the things that we talk about with the Pool Safely campaign, the tagline is simple steps save lives. And it really is true that there are some very simple things that everybody can do to help keep them safe in and around the water. And it includes things like, one of the best things is having layers of protection, one of those being isolation or four-sided fencing. But the other steps are, parents need to watch their children every time they're in and around the water. People need to wear life jackets when they are on boats. Adults should learn how to swim, and parents should encourage ensure that their children know how to swim as well. But then you talk about when things go wrong, they need to learn how to do CPR. They need to know the basic things about how to help somebody who's in trouble in the water. And one that is really important is making certain that pools have safe drain covers.
I would be I guess you teach CPR as it's applied to children, and I'm guessing it's different than a larger adult. It just seems a child seems so fragile, but if they're not breathing, you have to do something. So something is better than nothing.
Exactly.
So I guess the question I have from that is it possible that if we don't have CPR training and apply it incorrectly, could we do more harm than good?
You need to think about it in these terms. If you do nothing, what is the outcome?
Yeah.
So always doing something is better than nothing. So, one of the most important things you can think about is call for emergency help. Get help on the way. Call 911. And often that emergency operator can walk you through the steps of CPR while you're waiting for EMS to arrive. But we really encourage everybody to get training in advance so that you know how to handle an emergency. And especially if you have a situation where you're near water, whether it's a backyard pool or near the ocean or on a canal, then you should have this training. You should know how to swim. You should know CPR. You should know how to help someone in trouble in the water without putting yourself in danger as well.
So is that one of the top 10 tips I see on my list here? You have a top 10?
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of the things to help put it into an easy way for people to remember is we have this with our partner Pool Safely campaign, a pledge. And we actually have two, one for kids and one for adults. And the kids can sign this pledge saying that they're never going to go into the water without an adult nearby who's watching them, and that they will learn how to swim. The adults will pledge to always watch kids whenever they're in the water, to learn CPR, to ensure that their pools have proper barriers, and that includes four-sided fencing and proper gates, and also things like pool alarms and covers to let them know if somebody is getting into the water when they should not be.
Mm-hmm.
And if the if the child goes over to a friend's house and that friend has a pool, or maybe the grandparent's house, that grandparent has a pool, the parent should check with the other parent or the grandparent to know that they know how to swim in case in case the child was in distress while he or she was swimming.
Absolutely. And they should have a conversation with those homeowners, whoever the caregivers are there, to ensure that they understand the safety rules about their swimming pool. So you really should take an assessment. Do they have physical barriers that would prevent unauthorized access to the water? Do they allow their kids to go in the water without an adult watching? I mean, it's really important that you, as the parent of a child who you're sending to a place where there is a backyard swimming pool, that they have good, strong safety measures in place at that residence as well.
Connie, thank you for being on the air with us. We're right up against the clock. Can you give us a website real quickly?
You can go to poolsafely.gov/pledge to sign the pledge, or go to redcross.org, take a class to find swim lessons or a CPR course.
Excellent. Thank you, Connie, Harvey. Thank you for being on the air. We'll put this up on the internet and you can listen to it and share it with others. We'll take a little break and be right back.
Davis is scheduled to appear before a judge who may find her in contempt. Gay couples are pushing the court to impose fines against Davis for failing to do her job while collecting a state salary. She's been under pressure to resign, which is the only way she can leave her office. Davis is elected, so she cannot be fired.
Fox Radio's Gernal Scott. The community of Fox Lake in Illinois remembering the slain police lieutenant Charles Glenowitz rallying around his widow.
He was the most wonderful, caring, and loving father to our boys.
Meanwhile, the hunt for killers continues, with officers going door to door. And Oklahoma bombing co-conspirator Terry Nichols wants his guns now in the possession of the FBI to be turned over to his ex-wife because he owes child support. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Sweet memories fill this place. Can't wait to get a taste. Come on home.
Labor Day is almost here, and what better way to celebrate than with Eckrich smoked sausage on the grill? Come on home to the savory smokehouse taste of Eckrich smoked sausage, bringing families together for over 120 years.
The love is waiting, so come on home.
Come on home to Eckrich.
Do you bank online? Use public Wi-Fi? Pay at the pump? If so, your identity could be at risk. LifeLock Ultimate Plus helps protect your identity, your bank accounts, investments, even your home equity. Obviously, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor transactions at every business, but you only have one identity. Protect it with the best. Visit LifeLock.com now and use promo code COVER or call and mention COVER to save 10%. Call 800-995-7932. 800-995-7932.
Today in Florida Ag News from the Southeast AgNet, USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service in Florida has announced that farmers and ranchers can apply until December 18th of 2015 for financial and technical assistance from NRCS programs for fiscal year 2016 funding. There are two programs included in this sign-up, one being the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP. The other is the Agricultural Conservation Easement Program, or ACEP. Although applications are accepted on a continuous basis for all programs, funding selections are typically made once a year. To begin the process, simply stop by your local NRCS field office and request help developing a conservation plan. NRCS experts provide this free service to help you use your natural resources more efficiently. Or if you'd like to learn more about technical and financial assistance available from NRCS, you can go to their website at simply fl.nrcs.usda.gov.
Farming has never been a sure thing. Pests, weather, prices, every day is a gamble. But there are some things you can count on. Propane gas is hard at work on farms across Florida, ripening and drying crops, flaming weeds and pests, warming greenhouses and barns, fueling tractors, generators, and other farm equipment. Whatever the job, Florida farmers know that they can count on propane to get it done. Clean, efficient, and reliable. No wonder so many farmers depend on propane, the exceptional energy.
The Florida Ranch Rodeo Finals and Cowboy Heritage Festival is coming to the Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee, Florida, September 25th and 26th. The fun kicks off